I think that what I've been confronted with in trying to establish myself as a poet or as a writer more generally is that if you want to use poetry competitions as a yardstick of your success or non-success, you will be very disappointed. Because when you are attempting to expose your work through those channels, those poetry reviews or those poetry competitions already have a predetermined, let's say, outlook that they want to portray. And perhaps, I don't know, perhaps that's also linked into how they're funded and so on. And if you read sort of the intro of any of these things, they will tell you, we recommend that you read the past winner, click here. Mm-hmm. So if you don't write like the past winner, then you have a problem. Or they will say something like, read the bio and the work of our judges, click here. So you already know that you're going to be judged by somebody that has the proclivity or the brochure or whatever for something like that. And if you're not like that, then maybe don't spend the $20 to enter the competition, and certainly don't keep doing it every year. You're better off putting your $100 somewhere else. It's going to be a bad investment. I am not dissuaded because I am very proud and very happy that we've got the Bocas List Festival, we've got the Calabashins, we've got the, the Brooklyn short story, and there are others, the Commonwealth, right? So there are spaces where Caribbean writers can hope to get exposure for their work, but there is a reality that the vast amount of spaces where you could hope to have your work exposed, you're going to find roadblocks. I think my earliest influence would be Anthony McNeil. I had a very close working relationship with him during his lifetime. He taught us English at Immaculate Conception High School for girls. Okay. And he was... Say it again. Let me just tell you, Fabian, the Immaculate was unkind to poor Tony. He left swiftly, right? He didn't manage the girls very well. But I encountered him at another time at Carrimac. He was leading poetry workshops at Carrimac at that time. And he is this almost unsung hero of Jamaican poetry that I love very much. And he was very kind and very generous to me, and he would read my work and run his red pen through it, which I think of very fondly now. It wasn't fun then. But I was very inspired by his fearlessness in his work. He had a way of manipulating the words on the page, and it was one of his big challenges, getting a publisher to publish a poem where the line didn't line up on the page. So some of the words were over here and some of the words were over there, and he was obsessed with having the letters superimposed typed on top of each other. So you had to kind of figure out what the word was saying, because in those days he had typewriters. I mean, back home, he was typewriting the page, the poems, and so you could literally type the words on top of each other. And so that was from a writing perspective, but also his life to me was a poem, because he was very ill. He chain smoked maybe 6 packs of cigarettes a day or something. He would walk around with a briefcase that had only poems in it, like pages of poems that he had typed, and the cigarettes, and a box of Comet matches, and he just was like, this is what the poet is supposed to look like. I love it. I want to be just like him. So yes, he inspired me very much, I would say, in the early days. And as I matured in my writing, I would say I was very much influenced by Kamal Brathwaite. And then that was just like sheer genius. My takeaway with him was how it seemed to me that his poetry is dancing, and everybody think it was really my first excitement about the spoken word, because his poems sing off the page, dance off the page. It is not, you know the one, right? So when you hear that poem, you're just like, yeah. So yes, those two ones.